Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. So in today's tutorial we are going to be completing the pattern draft we made yesterday. We are going to go ahead to join it together. Alright, so thank you for coming back to see the joining of this dress, and if you are new, do check out the pattern drafting in our last video. Let's dive into the video. So today we are going to go ahead to start joining this dress that we made the pattern yesterday. So we made the pattern of this dress yesterday. So today we are going to start joining it. And these are all the pattern. This is the hand. This is the hand. We already cut out the hand. This is the front of the pattern. This is the front. So we're just going to go for this. So this is the front of the dress. This is the back of the dress. This is the back of the dress. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to try to mark out the dart for the back. Okay, remember we did not cut out the dart for the back yesterday while we made the pattern. So we're just going to mark it out on this fabric. So I'm just going to place my pattern again on this. I'm just going to place it. Like this, making sure everywhere is equal. And I'm going to pin it down. Okay, so I'm pinning along the vital lines. Okay, I pin this one on the waistline. I pin this one 3 inches over the hip line, and I pin this one on the chest line. Okay, these are the places that the dart is going to be. Okay, so while I have done this, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start marking all these points on my fabric. All right, this is the pin, this is the chest line, this is the waistline, and this is 3 inches above the hip line. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use chalk right now, and I'm just going to connect the straight line, the hip I'm supposed to be taking. The dart I'm supposed to be taking. Remember that this is the waistline, and from there I'm just going to go up to the chest line. Okay, so when you are doing this, make sure you are doing this on the back or on the wrong side of your fabric. Okay, having achieved that, we are going to do the same thing for this side. So when we have achieved that, we're just going to put the pattern paper aside and also do the same thing we did for the other side. Okay, so this is how we are going to be taking our darts for the back. Okay, we take our darts here, we take our darts here for the back. So that is how we are going to trace it out. So the first thing we are going to do is to actually go over to our sewing machine and take our darts. Okay, so we're just going to take our darts like this. Okay, so this one is for the back. We're going to take our back dart, and we are also going to take our front dart. Okay, so we're just going to close this place up very tiny, using a very tiny stitches. We're going to use 0.2 inch stitches to close this up. So take note. So this is for the front, this is for the front, this is how we're going to take the dart for the front, and this is how we're going to take the dart for the back. So we're going to go over to our sewing machine and we're going to take our dart, and when we come back we're going to continue. Yeah, we have finished taking our dart. So this is our front dart, this is how it looks. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to take the neck dart. Okay, remember there is dark on the neck of this dress, so we are going to take the neck dart, and to do that we are going to, from the center of the front, okay, this is the center front, for this center front we're going to go in by 2 inches. All right, this 2 inches, if you spread it, is going to be 4 inches, right? So there you're going to make a notch. All right, so that is where your dart is going to be. All right, one dart is going to be here and the other one is going to be here. Okay, so this dart is not a straight dart, it's not a straight dart, so we are going to come in by 6 inches or 5 inches or however inches you want yours to be, but I'm coming in by 6 inches. Okay, if you look closely you see I'm not measuring it straight, I'm measuring it diagonal. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a straight line, a straight diagonal line. Okay, so this is where my dart is going to be. I'm going to repeat the same thing for this one. Alright, so this is how my dart is going to be. I'm going to go over this again. I say you're going to fold the fabric into two. From the center front you take 2 inches dart measurement, and then you notch. Alright, that notching is going to be the center of your dart, and then from there you go down by 6 inches in a diagonal form. You can go down by 4 or by 5 inches, it depends on what you want. Me, I went down by 6 inches in a diagonal form, and this is where I'm going to take my dart. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to take this dart. So when we are done putting our darts, this is what it looks like. Okay, can you see that? This is what it looks like. This is how we took our darts. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to cut facing. I'm going to cut facing for the front, and we're also going to cut facing for the back. Okay. So for the flap at the front, at the down part of the front, if you look very well, you see a flap there. So what I did is I cut out this piece of fabric that is 8 inches long and 7 inches wide. So I'm going to fold it like this. Okay, so when I fold it, it's going to be 4 inches wide, 4 inches wide, yes, wide, and then 7 inches long. So I'm going to trim it because I want it to be at least 5 inches wide when I finish sewing it. So because of that, I'm going to leave it at 6 inches wide when I finish sewing it. So I'm just going to trim out 1 inch from it. I'm going to do the same from this one. I'm going to trim out 5 inches from it as well, and I'm going to make sure that the two of them are equal, both in length and in width. Okay, so I'm just going to put them together and trim them. So I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, turn it this way. Okay, it's supposed to have a fold in here because but I don't want it to have any join in here. That is why I cut it like this. So I'm going to go over to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew here and sew here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this one. I'm going to sew here and sew here. Then after that, I'm going to turn it out and press it. So to join this pocket flap that we have already cut out and sewn, this is how it look after we are done sewing it. So I will advise you to press this before you continue. Okay, so you are going to come to the down of your dart. Okay, if you are very tall, you can use 24 inches or 25. If you are not too tall, you can use 22 or 23 inches. But don't make this to be on your waist. Bring this down. Make sure it's at least on your hip line, at least 3 inches before your hip line. Okay, so this is where this stops. This is where our hip line, this is 3 inches above our hip line. Okay, so I'm just going to place this, leaving half an inch. I'm going to place this on where our dart stops. Okay, at least half an inch before the end of our dart. That is where I'm going to place this. and I'm just going to pin it down because we are going to sew it like this. After sewing it like this, I'm going to flip it to the other side and match on top of it. Okay, so this is a pocket flap. All right, so we have done the same thing for this side. If you finish sewing it, you are going to flip it like this and we are going to match on it. So if you want your own to be diagonal, because I noticed that in some of these pictures we are using, some of them are diagonal, you're still going to do the same thing we did for here, but the difference is that you're going to place your pocket flap in a diagonal form. Okay, so we're just going to go over to our sewing machine, attach this, and then we go ahead to fix our hand, shape the clothes, and then fix our zipper and turn the neckline with the facing. We have fixed the pocket. This is what it looks like. We have also shaped our gown. We have fixed the hand, shaped our gown. This is what the hand is looking like. This is it. And then we have also fixed the pockets. All these things we know how to do them before, right? So the next thing we are going to do is to put the facing. Okay, this is the facing, and we have went ahead to join the two shoulders. Okay, so we're just going to fix the shaping like this. I'm sure we also know how to fix facing, together facing. Okay, just make sure that the two armhole is rhyming. Okay, so we're just going to fix the facing like this all the way around. Okay, make sure that this shoulder is rhyming with this shoulder, and this shoulder is also rhyming with the other shoulder. Okay, so just going to fix the facing, turn it in, notch it, iron it, then also do the hem of this dress, and this dress is ready. Okay, so if I've watched till this level, thank you very much for watching. And if you are still yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button and turn up the notification bell so you get notified anytime we drop any video like this. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in the next one. So this is what it looks like after we are done turning the neck with the facing. Okay, so we turn the neck with the facing, we notched it. Please always notch your round neck, your round armpit whenever you turn it with the facing. We notched it and we used a hemming gum to control it. Okay, so this is how beautiful it's looking. Okay, take a look at the neck. Okay, are you seeing? We used the hemming gum to control it. And for the down, we also went ahead to use the hemming gum to control the hem of the down, making this cloth very, very neat. Okay, so we pressed it inside out, and this is how good this cloth is looking.